Now coming on to jobs to be done framework. Jobs to be done framework is an interesting framework to analyze the customer needs. It recommends to completely change the mode of analysis and focus on why customers are buying your products and what job they want your product to do for them. For example, why would customer hire a hammer? They would do that to put a nail into the wall. But then putting the nail into the wall is just a task. The actual job that they are trying to do is to put a painting on the wall. So you can simply innovate and solve this problem by manufacturing sticky wall hooks like 3M did. So in our case, what job Joshua is trying to do? Joshua is trying to work with other sales and marketing colleagues to identify qualified leads and then collaborate with them further to convert them into customers. Secondly, he is also working closely with the accounts and customer projects team for smooth onboarding of customers and implementation of their projects. Now, these are two primary jobs that Joshua is trying to do as a sales specialist. If we break this further down into sub-jobs, it will come as Joshua is trying to work on his tasks so as to ensure that all required things are done and dependencies are removed for other colleagues or teams. Secondly, he is also trying to provide necessary oversight and guidance to other team members for their tasks where he is not directly responsible but accountable. Thirdly, he is also trying to provide necessary information to other members when consulted so that the other members have all required information to perform their tasks. Thirdly, he also wants to stay informed on what's happening in each of the projects where he is involved so that he can provide the information to other stakeholders or the customer when he is asked to do so. Of these four sub-jobs that he is trying to do, the first sub-job is not relevant for us because this is already taken care in Trello. Trello already provides a mechanism to create and track tasks. So this is not relevant for our analysis. On the other three sub-jobs, if we break these three sub-jobs down further into the tasks that Joshua is trying to do, then we come to these 5 task items. Firstly, Joshua is trying to get timely and contextual updates or notifications on various projects and tasks. Secondly, he is also trying to identify the action items and ensure timely completion of the same to unblock other team members from their dependencies. Thirdly, he wants to share timely inputs and feedback on various tasks to provide necessary guidance. The fourth one is he wants to quickly involve other team members or stakeholders when required to facilitate collaboration and get things done quickly. Fifth is to search and find contextual information updates when required to share it with the stakeholders. So of these 5 tasks, the first one is not relevant for our analysis because Trello does have a notification feature that provides timely and contextual updates on various projects, boards and tasks. Leaving this apart, we have further analyzed these tasks and written down these job stories. These job stories are basically defining the causality behind Joshua doing the tasks and what is the anxiety and motivation behind it. Like why Joshua wants to do this job. Like for the tasks where Joshua has to identify action items and ensure timely completion of the same to unblock other team members from any dependencies. So the typical job story from Joshua's point of view is when I am actively involved in various projects or tasks and team activities, I want to quickly flag and keep a track of my action items from conversations, discussions, updates and notifications that I get from various projects or tasks so that I can ensure timely completion of the same to unblock others from any dependencies. So because he is involved in so many projects, tasks and team activities, he wants to quickly keep a track of his action items from various notifications, discussions and conversations so that he can ensure that all his action items are completed on time, which will unblock others from any other dependencies in performing their respective tasks. Similarly, for the second task, we can have a job story like when I have some feedback or inputs with respect to any tasks or any conversations or any project tasks, I want to share the same contextually so that I can communicate any additional information that I have or get clarifications around it. The third job story is when I have some questions or feedback with respect to a project or task update or notifications, I want to start a conversation involving other stakeholders so that I can get more information and seek clarifications. Similarly, fourth job story is when I have some dependencies on others or I do not have the complete knowledge, I want to start a discussion thread involving other teams or project members so that I can facilitate collaborative discussions and get things done fast. The last job story is When I am asked about certain information or update with respect to a project or task, I want to easily search and find contextual information or updates so that I can share the same across to the customers or other stakeholders. So basically, with the help of these job stories, we are trying to add more information, more context, so that it can help us to define the customer need, the need of Joshua's, in a much detailed manner. Now, in our case, the second job story is not relevant because there is already a feature called as comments inside the task cards where one can share the feedback or inputs contextually by tagging people and tagging cards. So this feature is already available inside Trello, and hence this is not relevant for our analysis. However, the other four job stories are. And what we decipher from these job stories is that Joshua needs an ability to identify and add or flag action items from conversations, updates, and notifications contextually. He should have an option to start a conversation from a notification or an update involving other team members and stakeholders without losing the context. And he also wants to quickly search and find information on time from across updates, notifications, and conversations so that he can share it further across customers and other stakeholders.